Nearly 3 years after her house was destroyed by a Russian tank, Olega Ivasiuk is back in her rebuilt home.
When the column of this tank started to move down Vokzalna Street and the last tank was standing right in front of our house, it was very scary. It fired at my house, blowing off the roof and causing other damage.
The family managed to escape unhurt. Bucha was retaken from the Russian forces in March 2022, but only after intense fighting and much destruction. This is just one of the cemeteries around Bucha, where dozens of fallen soldiers are buried. Also here are the graves of hundreds of civilians who had been killed by the Russians. The authorities here say the death toll continues to rise as more bodies are found. Some of those bodies, they say, have been decomposed beyond recognition. Meanwhile, the relatives of many missing people are desperately looking for their loved ones. Some of the graves only have numbers assigned to them and the place where the body was found. Officials say these bodies could not be identified. Some of the missing people could still be alive.
There are civilian prisoners who are currently in Russian prisons, and they do not fall under the Geneva Convention because Russia does not submit them to the list of exchange. This is essentially the kidnapping of civilians in the 21st century. This is unacceptable.
The Ukrainian government says it's trying to bring back civilians taken away by the Russians. The mayor of Bucha says around 97% of his city has been rebuilt.
In the issue of reconstruction, it's extremely important to overcome the psychological moment, as in the conditions of war where hostilities were taking place, to begin the issue of reconstruction. The war is not over, but it's extremely important to do this because otherwise we will not strengthen the belief of the citizens that the war will definitely end and they should return and actively live here.
Olega is happy to be back home and also fearful. Memories of tanks rolling on her street and firing at homes still haunt her. And while she's trying to start a new life, the psychological wounds, she says, won't heal so easily. Hasan Abdullah, TRT World, Bucha, Ukraine.